So Dino, you have 8 minutes with Kenny. I'm going to turn this over to you. Nicole, thank you so much for being part of the International Smile Day. Dino, you here?
Yeah, I'm here, brother. I'm
Okay,
looking for
here's Kenny.
Kenny.
And
Yeah, the new and improved Ken Rochon. Kenny Rochon III. I am so excited to be able to talk to you. We've talked on the phone once or twice as you and your dad are traveling around, but your story is so impressive. I'm going to kind of introduce part of it that I knew. When you were 8 years old, you had 6 books written. Is that correct? And then you
Yeah.
had a goal. What was your goal to do by the time you were 10?
My goal was when I was 10 was to get 10 books when I was 10 years old and hopefully continue that for a while. And right now I have 14 books and I'm 12.
You're 14 books and you're 12. I know what my favorite is, but what is your favorite book?
My favorite book, I have quite a lot of them right here,
Well, you have
is
14.
the funnest one to write was this book, Conversations, or one of my trivia books. But this one was more recent, and it was fun because I learned a lot about my dad, and my dad learned a lot about me. And yeah, this was fun.
Do you know what? That was actually my favorite book too.
That's
I
cool.
thought it was just an absolutely awesome idea. So, so tell us a little bit about Conversations. What happened in that book for those that don't
So
know?
me and my dad, we actually wrote this while we were at a hotel, which is
Uh-huh.
cool. And this book is basically about me and my dad bonding. And I had a lot of hair. I had that much hair, but you couldn't see it because it was on the other side. So,
Well, you have quite a bit more hair than your father.
mm, yeah. So one
So
of
the
my
book is just all these great questions that you're responding to and that your father's responding to.
yeah, yeah, it
Like
is.
I just heard a question that was said in the backstage, and it was, I think it would be great for you to share with people because people go their whole lives and they get so affected by what other people think. And I know Scott had asked you what would be the biggest lesson that you could share, and I'd like for you to share that with everybody else because it was beautiful.
So, wait, can you repeat the question, please?
So Scott had asked you what the biggest life lesson that you've learned and that you could share with people at your ripe old age.
hmm So I think the best lesson is that you shouldn't let what other people say control your life. I've recently applied that to my life, and right now I feel a lot more welcome. I feel better, and I feel a lot more free. And if somebody doesn't like what you're saying, like if somebody's stopping you from doing something, then you should just not tell them about it and just go by yourself.
Yeah, that's also a great lesson for entrepreneurs because a lot of people will tell them what they can't do and what they won't do. Like somebody might have told you can't write books at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so you have also, I think your father. I mean, obviously, Conversations is the most heartfelt book, but don't you have a joke book?
Yep. It's right here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I tell you what, what's your favorite joke in the joke book?
Okay. So this joke I'm about to tell, a lot of people who have seen me before on a podcast know this one. It's what did the buffalo say to his son when he was leaving for school?
I don't know.
Bison. Yeah, that joke I told on my first ever podcast when I was about like 7 years old. And yeah, the host liked it and I guess they thought it was very cute.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So your first podcast, you were 7. Most people have never been on a podcast. I know MJ was actually shy to get in front of the camera. How did you develop such courage to get in front of the camera?
Um I when I was 8 years old, 6 through 8, I wanted to be a YouTuber and an influencer, kind of like every other Gen Alpha kid there is. They just like
Uh-huh.
the idea of being a YouTuber and stuff. So that is what got me courage on my first podcast. I was still very timid and my voice was very high. So it sounded like I was a mouse. But after I did my first podcast and everybody loved me, I just actually wait, that's actually a lot of delays right there. But what I mean is that I got a lot more courage and I loved doing podcasts, so I just kept on doing it.
That's amazing. I had a good friend and a mentor that once said, he said, so many people don't achieve things because they don't even try. And it's so much better to try and fail than to fail to try. And the courage for a 6-year-old or 7-year-old to go out and be on a podcast. Now you're just as comfortable as you can be. Matter of fact, you might be more relaxed than I am. And I'm somewhat of a grown up. So what's going on there?
Yes.
So if you, I love jokes, and your father and I always are telling jokes back and forth all the time. Give us one more awesome joke. Do-
So one of them I made when I was 4. It was a joke, and I told my dad this, and he just kept on laughing. I don't know why, but it was, why did the man take a bath?
I'm sorry, what was it? Why did the man?
Take a bath, yeah.
Why did he take a bath?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Because he was a stinky poo.
Because he was a stinky poo.
Yeah. Yeah, so my
Yeah,
dad laughed at that joke a lot.
I'm looking at this background behind you. Your first 10 years. Okay, we're missing what it says on the top. Can you read what that says? Right behind you? Or no? Oh, actually, it's on our screen. So it says
Okay.
change your child. Okay, you got it?
Um, Wait, this one right here.
Yeah.
Change your child's attitude about learning in life and the world by Kenneth K3.
What was the inspiration for that? That had something to do with
Um,
COVID, didn't it?
I actually think my dad wrote it, but it's actually very related to COVID. Yeah, it's a yeah perseverance.
Yeah. So what happened during COVID? That's when you actually were putting out all of these books and what have you. So what happened during that time period for you and for what was going on and what inspired you?
What inspired me was that honestly, I thought that books were fun, and I kept on writing books. I wrote my riddle book, my trivia books, my science books, and it just kept on going from there. And now I do magazines and podcasts like this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You said your science book? You've got a science book?
Yeah, right here.
Your favorite science facts. Okay, I gotta ask, so you got a whole bunch of favorite science facts that really excite you? If you had to pick one, what would that be? That's the most interesting.
I think the most interesting is the percent of water that's actually drinkable, and it's pretty cool how such a small percent is able to be like drinking.
A small percentage.
It's really small.
It's really, yeah, because is that because the ocean's got so much salt water in it too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they're filtered
So
at Stanford.
so if somebody hasn't written a book, what would you tell them to just because I think most of what they say, the journey of 1,000 steps begins 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So how can somebody overcome that fear and write their first book?
I think that they could talk to one of their friends about it, get ideas from their friends. All they need is really courage and a publisher.
Okay. Do you know any good publishers?
Oh yeah, my dad.
Your dad?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, why don't you give a plug for your dad's company? What's the name of his company?
It's called Perfect Publishing, and you could reach him at 202 500 4625.
Yeah, the thing that I love about what your dad does with books is it's not about putting out a book, but it's how to get the word out and how to market it and how to get it out to everybody. It's not just producing a book, because anybody could self-publish a book, but then if it doesn't get out to the masses, it doesn't do any good. So that's what I like about your father. I tell you what, this was such a treat for me. We've, as I said in the beginning, we've talked on the phone a variety of times. It's usually when you're on your way somewhere, like you're getting ready to go to what, soccer practice right now?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So we squeezed you in, and I hope everything goes very, very well for you. And I look forward to meeting you in person. I mean, as much as I've talked to you, between your mom and your dad, it's it was an honor to have you here, and I look forward to meeting you in person. And go do your best at soccer or football, as it was said throughout the world.
Hmm. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.